In today's training, we're going to be looking at how to model the sell of your client's business in a plan. To do this, I'm going to start out by going to the what if section and creating this as a what if plan so that we can compare and contrast. So the first option I want to show is selling the business all in 1 year. Once I've created this what if plan, I'm going to go into the corporate section, open up the actual business model, and go to ownership transfers. We're going to add a transfer, and I want this transfer to occur at retirement. So I'm going to drag and drop that in there. You do have the option of modeling the ownership transfer as a gift. So if the client is wanting to move assets from their company into a trust, for example, you can do that through the gift option, or they could move it into the ownership of someone else in the plan or someone outside of the plan. For our purposes, we're going to do a sell. I'm going to sell all of the business at once at Amy's retirement. So this is how I'm going to leave it. Clicking done to save. Let's now take a look at what that does in the plan. I'm going to go to year view, and we're going to take a look at the year we've modeled the sell of the business. And we can look at the investments section to see the profit from the company sale moving into Amy's cash. I have a sweep set up on the cash account, so that money is then being swept into her non-registered account. And then if we go to taxes, we can see the tax outcome from the sale of the business. That money is going to be labeled as due at the end of that year, and then that bill will be applied in arrears to their expenses. So you'll see Amy's taxes for year 2032 are significantly higher than they have been in the past, and that's due to the sale of the business. You can also confirm that this company is no longer owned by Amy by going to corporate, opening this up, and you'll see the ownership percentage is now 0 in the year of the sale, and then the year prior it was 100%. So this is no longer going to show in her plan worth. Corporate assets are going to leave the plan the year that she retires. The next thing that I want to show you is that you can also sell the business over the course of multiple years. So I'm going to again make a what if, and we'll say selling the business over 3 years. That's an option. I'm going to create this plan, and I'm going to go again to the actual corporate model in the corporate section, open up Amy's company, go to ownership transfers, and this time I'm going to toggle off transfer all ownership, and I'm going to leave this as we're transferring 100% of the value. You do have the ability to model the transfer of a portion of her ownership stake if you'd like, but we're going to show that she's selling 100% of the company over the course of 3 years to someone outside of the plan, and we're going to do that again when she retires. So we can click done to save. You can confirm what you are scheduling, and then we're going to click done again. I'm going to go to year view, and let's look at the year we've started the sale of the business, that phased sell. And in the investments section, you can see money flowing into Amy's cash, and then with my sweep, I've got it moving into her non-registered account. And we should see that over the course of the next 3 years. And then each year, we can see the tax breakdown for the taxes that apply to her portion of that sell. And then we can go to corporate and confirm when the ownership percentage is now out of her name. And with backing up, you can see where it was at 100% and then how it slowly phases down. You can also compare the two options between each other if you want to see how the outcomes affect your client's overall plan. You can go to Let's See Chart View, and you can look at the various options here. So let's do selling the business over 3 years and selling the business all in one. No issues regarding her cash flow in either scenario. If we look at assets, we can see how the assets play out over time. And then if we go to the taxes charts, you can see how the taxes look in comparison to each other. You can also go to overview, legacy, and do a comparison. If you want to see the legacy outcomes of the two options, you can see those. So selling the business over 3 years, what the estimated terminal tax would be versus selling the business all in 1 year, total wealth transfer post-tax. You can show the details and see exactly how her estate is transferring. And any expected taxes, you can look at the details in the taxes section and look at the valuation summaries and see exactly what she would be transferring to her heirs in either scenario. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can always click the name of your client in the top right corner, select request support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thanks for listening.